Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be touching on a subject which I should have talked about a week ago. I think I'm a bit slow on the uptake on this one. I did collect all the information that I wanted to put out there ages ago. I just didn't have time or the ability to actually record this, so I hope it's still relevant and people are still interested. That's the most important thing. It's about Perry. You remember Perry, the good old Perry, who has threatened, the very safety of the Inghams and Sarah herself, which led her to have to get some actual security when they went to see Taylor Swift the other day. Isn't that right, Sarah? They actually had to hire security. Security that was so good at their job that it was almost as if they weren't there at all, isn't it? So without further ado, before we get into the video, please take a moment to appreciate our sponsor of the day. So yes, the Raccoon merch store has just launched some brand new products to go with their existing very popular design, the Beware of the Red Raccoon design, which has been flying off the shelves so far with all the hoodies and t-shirts at the moment that we've sold. But now we also have a new range of brilliant products such as necklaces and iPhone cases and even stickers. Anything for any budget, it's perfect. If you want to purchase anything from this brilliant store, go down to the link in the description box below and check it out. Thank you all so much. Let's get back on to the video. So after the whole Sarah being a bit of a bratty brat about this whole situation and putting it out there that Perry was this awful person and showing all the emails that Perry had put or sent to them, and I'm not agreeing with the emails that he sent, right? And he has accepted responsibility that he sent them, so there's no doubting that he actually sent them. However, he put out a response video after all the backlash.
Recently, obviously, I admit I sent some death threats to the Inghams, and I'm not, proud of that. I'm aware that that someone has made threats towards the children, threatening to harm the children. And obviously threats have been made towards Isabel, as mentioned by Sarah in her Instagram post. And if they've had threats made towards the children, if someone has threatened to do something to them, that person isn't me.
Okay, so he's saying here that the person who has threatened the kids is not him. He has not done that. He's not threatened. And to be fair, Sarah hasn't shown evidence that he has, right? We only have Sarah's accusations upon this. We've seen the things that he said to them in certain ways. We've seen that he has threatened to kill the parents in front of the children. Now that in itself would do harm to the kids, right? And I think he needs to understand that that is an actual real life problem and would harm the kids. That is harming the kids in that sense. But in terms of what Sarah has said about doing disgusting things to Isabel, for example, like this,
distracting with the pictures, but you get the gist. So he sent social services a very detailed email about how he was going to murder me and Chris, do disgusting things to Isabel, but I'm not going to go there on here.
So I was keen to press home this point, so I asked him the question whether or not he actually sent those threats to Isabel or any of the kids, because quite disgusting, obviously. I said, Perry, I watched your video and I have a couple of questions. Firstly, did you ever threaten to R-word the girls in front of Chris and Sarah? Sarah claims you said that to social services. So he did get back to me and he replied saying the following: I did not ever threaten to R-word the girls in front of them, and I never told social services I would do that. I'm always defending the kids, so I don't have any reason to want to hurt them in any way. He also followed it up with, It's sad that people think I would threaten to R-word the kids. I would never ever do that. I'm always trying to help the kids. As I said in that video yesterday, I have no reason for wanting to harm the kids in any way. I'm always defending the kids in a lot of the videos on my channel. So if someone has threatened to R-word the kids, that person was not me and has nothing to do with me. I shouldn't even have to say this. I mean, obviously, if Chris and Sarah has said I did it, then I must have done it. I mean, why would they lie? I mean, do they ever tell the truth? So, obviously, that's a little bit of sarcasm at the end there, because, obviously, Chris and Sarah has said it, so why would it not be the truth? The truth of the matter is, we still don't know. That is Perry's version of events. He's put it out there on a video that he categorically did not do it, and he said it to me personally that he hasn't done it. Whether or not you choose to believe that that's the truth is another matter. Do you choose Perry, who has admitted to sending very threatening emails, or do you choose to believe Sarah, who is a narcissist and a categoric liar? That's a very difficult. It's like choosing apples and oranges, right? Anyway, he had more to say on that video.
You know, I feel like a lot of people have been accusing me of sending of sort of threatening the kids, but I can confirm now that I have never sent any threats of any, I've never threatened to harm the children in any particular way, because me threatening to harm the children in any particular way would make me just as bad as that boy that did the attacks in Southport a few weeks ago,
So Chris put this up on his stories the other week. Actually, you've probably seen it. It's an email offer from allegedly Perry. It says, "Here's my offer for you, Inghams. Take it or leave it. If you quit YouTube and take those young kids off social media and keep them out of the public eye until they are old enough to properly consent to that, then I will quite happily back off and never contact you again. That's the only way any of this is going away, is if you make the right choice. I mean, let's face it, there's better ways of making money that doesn't involve you treating your kids like cash cows and performing monkeys. I won't stop harassing you until you stop treating them like that. Do you want this to continue, or do you want it to go away? If you want this to go away, then you should accept my offer. If you accept my offer, this will all go away and you will never hear from me again. It's up to you, Chrissy Boy and Sarah Ingham." So that was put up. Obviously, Chris has called him a clown, as he does, obviously. But the question arose, did Perry actually send those emails, or that email? Because a lot of people were thinking it seems not right. Something about the email seemed not right, and they were questioning it, and they were looking through all the other emails that were allegedly sent, and wondering whether or not Perry was sending the emails that have been shown, because something didn't quite add up. So I asked him, and this is what he had to say. I asked him, did those latest emails that Chris has been showing us on his Instagram, did you send them? Like, have you been sending more messages to them in the last few days? And he said, no, I did not send those emails. That is his categoric reply to me. So I wanted to delve further into this, so I asked him about those other emails that the Inghams have listed on their stories in the past, and I gave them a screenshot. Gave him a screenshot, and I said, did you send these ones? And he replied, No, I didn't. So that is that. Apparently, he did not send the emails that the Inghams are claiming that he sent. I replied, okay, thank you. I'm just trying to get to the truth. I know Sarah and Chris lie all the time, but every now and then they tell the truth. Is there anything that you can show me that will back up your version? And he said... So he said, no, there isn't, unfortunately. And then he sent a screenshot and said, the only emails I have sent to anyone this week. So there was just a few emails there. So basically he's saying that he hasn't sent these emails that the Inghams are saying that he sent. But also, don't forget, he's saying that he hasn't sent the email saying for them to the offer email. This is my offer to you, that email. He said that he hasn't sent that. However, not too long after this message, he sent this. There's one thing I forgot to say. I emailed them weeks ago and I made them an offer. If they took their kids off social media, this would all go away and I would stop harassing them and I would never email them again. I said if they stop treating their kids like cash cows and performing monkeys, I will stop emailing them. I was thinking maybe they should change Aurora's name to Baby Cash Cow Performing Monkey Ingham, because that's basically what she is, a baby cash cow and baby performing monkey, and it's heartbreaking. It really is. So here we have a situation where he said he hasn't sent these emails and he hasn't sent this one recently, the one about the offer that he's given the Inghams, but later on he's remembered that he has in fact sent this email. So my question is here, is he misremembering things or forgetting things that he sent? So when he's telling me certain things, is he telling the whole truth? I'm not entirely sure all the time. That's the only thing that I would be wary of. Is he telling the truth? And sometimes the truth can be that he's just forgetting and not telling, because he has eventually told me that he just forgot. That's what he says anyway. So then Chris got back on it and he posted this on his Insta, and it's a screenshot of the offer that Perry sent to them, and he said, with a very heavy heart, guys, I have decided to concede and accept Perry's very kind offer. There will be no more videos on our channel. He's a funny guy, isn't he? This Mr. Ingham. He's hilarious. He then went on to say, until tonight at 5 p.m. Oh, that's so funny, Chris. So hilarious. The funniest thing is, on that particular night, I believe they were actually late. They weren't up at 5 p.m. like he had actually said. So, you know, who's the liar now, Chris, isn't it? Who is the liar? He then went on to say, got a banger coming for you later today. Perry can get fucked. That's right. That's lovely language, isn't it? From a family man like yourself, who's inspirational and everything. Then he went on to say, this will stop when the Met Police arrest your fanboy ass. Don't drop the soap. Literally have to buy new email storage. This fool's blowing me up that much. Well, he goes on to post another screenshot of another email, and Chris says, Sarah's too polite for this, but I'm not. The police have been given everything from this inept little pussy. But knowing the UK police, nothing will be done about it. This wannabe gangster is threatening the safety of my wife and children at the one event they have been looking forward to for over a year. Anyone know where or if he works? Be sure to pass all this on. Share it everywhere. Everywhere you can, because this little bad man needs taking down a peg or 10. Wow. So, Chris, little Chrissy boy, you know, This event that your wife was so terrified of attending, you didn't think to yourself, hang on a second, right? I'm not going to let my wife go and put herself in the firing line. You know, it's too risky. I don't want to risk it. I'm going to go instead, right? No, you didn't. You said, wife, please, you know, take my ticket. I'm going to sit in the van, all right? I'm going to sit in the van. I'm going to let you and my kids just get slaughtered, you know, out there in Wembley. I'm going to be safe. I'm going to be tucked up in one of my many beds inside my DPD van, right? That's what you said, wasn't it? Where was this security that you promised you would have for the protection of your kids and your wife? That didn't happen, did it? And also, if you were so terrified of this man, you know, this gangster, wannabe gangster. He's not a wannabe gangster. Look at him. Come on. He's not, right? Let's be honest. He's just not at all, right? If you were so terrified, why haven't you blocked him? Why is he still sending you emails? Why, more to the point, is he all over your family's TikTok accounts, posting copious amounts of messages every single day? And what's more, Sarah doesn't give a fuck. So this comment was posted on Sarah's TikTok, and it said, it's a bit weird that you claimed you had serious threats, yet that person still remains in your comments. Are those threats worth the engagement? Clearly they are. Now Sarah replied, he's still sending multiple emails a day. Not sure why it's weird because he's still in the comments. Well, Sarah, it's weird because most people would see a credible threat to their kids as a serious thing, right? They wouldn't just allow it to continue in the comments. They wouldn't just allow this person to continue to post stuff on your social media. You'd want them out of your life, right? You would do everything in your power to protect your children and get rid of them. That is what you would do if you had a serious threat that you were actually worried about. Instead, you are using his comments for engagement purposes, right? So furthermore though, Chris, if the police had been sent all the information that you said that they've been handed over about this person and about how bad he is, about how much of a threat he is, etc, etc, you would not be posting any of this shit on your social medias. You would not be engaging with the person. You would not be inciting hate on the person. You would not be inciting hate towards yourself or your family. The police would have told you this. In fact, the police would have told you, come off social media, take your kids off social media, and that would have been the end of it. But no, you have hit back and you said, no, we're doing this. It doesn't matter about our kids, and that is why the police will not do anything, because you don't care about your kids, so why should they, basically? And that's the long and short of it. If anybody had any doubt about whether or not this was a threat, or whether or not the Inghams were in danger, or whether or not any of this was real, my personal opinion is yes, the emails were all sent by Perry. I don't think any of it was made up by Chris or Sarah. I think that it's a situation which they've used to their advantage greatly. They're probably annoyed at getting all these emails so regularly, but block him, right? If he creates another account, block that. Just keep blocking, right? There must be something that you can do to maybe block the IP. I don't know, right? But that's my advice to you. Maybe, yeah, do that. Block him on social medias when he appears as a new account. Stop using that for engagement. Stop engaging with him entirely, and it will all go away. But no, you need the engagement. You need his engagement, because let's face it, you don't get engagement from the IFAM in general. So this sort of thing is actually helpful to you. But sod the kids, because it doesn't matter about them. And yeah, they are a anyway, so that's basically that. I'm just going to let the rest of Perry's video run if you want to watch that. And yeah, come back to me again soon with, for more videos. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, because we have loads more of these coming up. Exposés. We like to expose Chris for what he is, and Sarah obviously for what she is. Until next time, keep watching this video.
I'm always kind of speaking up for the kids and kind of defending the kids and saying that what Chris and Sarah are doing isn't right. I also want to make it clear that Sarah greatly exaggerated the amount of emails I was sending every day, because I wasn't sending anywhere close to 50 to 80 emails every day. That's absolute bullcrap for a start. I was sending nowhere near that amount of emails. She greatly exaggerated that, for a fact. Obviously, and I want to clear one thing up as well. It wasn't me that started the fire at the back of their house. I've been nowhere near their house, because if you guys might not know this about me, but I'm not somebody who is actually able to travel, long distances by myself. Because I struggle with it, that's one thing that I kind of struggle with, is being able to travel long distances on my own. If I'm going somewhere that's within my neighbourhood or within my, within my area, it's fine for me to do that. But anywhere that's kind of outside of my area, I do require, extra support for that. I do require, extra support when it comes to long distance travel, which is, which rules me out of the, starting the fire, because I'd never be able to get that far on my own. I don't have any way of actually being able to get to, I'd have to drive myself down to their house, because that's the only way I have of actually, the only way for me to actually get to their house is for me to actually drive myself down there. And I don't have a car. It's not like, it's not like I can go out and get in my car and drive down to where they live. It's not that easy and straightforward for me to do that. It's not that easy and straightforward for me to get to where they live, because I have no way of actually getting there. Obviously it's not like, it's quite a distance away from here. So, that's one of the things I felt the need to clear up. With me recently, I think I'm just getting a bit fed up with the way the IFAM constantly defend Chris and Sarah over every single thing they do. But I think the good thing is, I think more and more people now are starting to see just how ridiculous the IFAM are in the way that they defend Chris and Sarah over everything they do, everything they say. It's ridiculous how, the IFAM always put everything that Chris and Sarah says down to being banter, when, sometimes it doesn't feel like it is just banter, the things they say, that they say in the vlogs. It doesn't feel like they are just banter, obviously I'm not going to stop posting videos, calling the Inghams out and criticising them for the things they do. I don't really care, anymore if people don't agree with my opinions on things. I don't really care, I'm past caring about that. The problem with a lot of the IFAM here, and I'll say this for a fact, obviously I go on about the fact that young kids shouldn't have to put up with being filmed every day, and I say that a lot about Mila, Jace and Aurora. And the IFAM are always so quick to jump on me and have a go at me for saying that, but the problem with the IFAM is it feels like they don't really understand, a lot of the IFAM don't really understand the point I'm trying to make. It's like they're attacking me, but they're attacking me for what I'm saying, but I don't think any of them really understand properly understand the point I'm trying to make. The problem with a lot of the IFAM is they lack, any real intelligence. The IFAM are not the smartest of people, and you can tell that in a way a lot of them respond to the comments and things like that. A lot of them are all saying the same things, they're not really saying anything different, they're all just saying the same things as each other, they repeat whatever, they're repeating what each other's saying most of the time with their comments. And, it's just, it's laughable sometimes, you can see that, the IFAM probably, I don't even think half of the IFAM even understand what child exploitation is. They're so quick to defend Chris and Sarah, but do they even understand what they're, I don't even think that half of the IFAM are even able to understand that what Chris and Sarah are doing, is wrong. This is why I laugh, because the IFAM have a go at me for, having an issue with Chris and Sarah, but I feel like most of them don't understand what my issue actually is with them. I don't think any of them really properly understand why I actually have an issue with them. I think, I just wish the IFAM was smart enough to understand the point that I'm trying to make most of the time. Because as I said, I don't think that any of them really are smart enough to understand the point that I'm trying to make most of the time. They all try and justify, they're all trying to justify things and, make excuses all the time for what Chris and Sarah do. It's like, as I've said before in previous videos, if the Inghams threw one of their kids off the top of the Burj Khalifa, the IFAM would still defend them. There was absolutely nothing there was actually nothing the IFAM would not defend them for. The IFAM would defend Chris and Sarah over absolutely anything. It's probably best to avoid posting any kind of negative comments on their vlogs, because as soon as you post the negative comments on their vlogs, you get the Inghams YouTube comments police squad jumping on you. And when I mean the comments police squad, I mean people like Leanne Scott, Mama Dom Doms, Tracy Jacobs, James Fleeman, Nicola Jarvis, of course, Elizabeth, whatever her bloody second name is. There's about 3 different Elizabeths I know that comment on the episode. There's Elizabeth, just her first name. Then there's Elizabeth Milholland, I've seen commenting quite a lot. And then there's Elizabeth Rennick. It's hard to know which one is which, because there's 3 of them. It's hilarious. They are all as bad. They're probably the fittest bunch of the IFAM, to be honest. They are the sort of people that lack any real intelligence. The way some of Mama Don Don's comments, they're so hissed. Oh, you're my favourite YouTube fan. Love, it's so sickening. It's so sickening. It's like, pass me the sit bucket. It was like yesterday, right? This is going off track a bit. Yesterday, I was watching Jonathan Jolie's video, TikTok, it's like YouTube short that he put out yesterday, and all you saw was people saying, "Oh, Jonathan's a great dad. He's such a great dad." Blah 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 blah. And I was like, no, he's fucking not. I was like, "Can you please just shut the fuck up and stop lying?" Because Jonathan is not a great dad, and people need to actually stop lying. It's the same with the Inghams. The problem with a lot of the IFAM is they are in serious denial most of the time. It's like, I think it would be really difficult for any of the IFAM to have to actually admit that what Chris and Sarah are doing is wrong. I know I say that Chris and Sarah have a problem with admitting they're in the wrong, but I think a lot of the IFAM also have that problem. They also have that problem with being able to admit that Chris and Sarah are in the wrong, because they're never actually able to do that. They're never actually able to admit that Chris and Sarah are in the wrong. It's like they don't ever want to admit that. But sometimes it might actually be a more sensible thing to do. I mean, obviously, I'm not, I'm not trying to justify me sending death threats to them or anything like that. I know that what I did was ban out of order, and, I'm holding my hands up to that and saying that I was wrong for what I did. But I'm not gonna condone, I'm not gonna, apologise for calling them out and saying that they're wrong for shoving a hammer in a 3-year-old child's face every day, or for shoving a hammer in a baby's face every day. I'm not going to apologise for saying that I think that is absolutely cruel, selfish, and unfair. I'm not gonna apologise for saying that Chris and Sarah are exploiting their hits, because that's exactly what they are doing. And I know people will deny that, say, oh no, they're not doing that. Well, actually, they are. The problem is a lot of people these days are too dumb to actually realise that. A lot of people are too dumb to realise the fact that Chris and Sarah are actually exploiting their kids. Obviously I read the Town Life forums every day, and I love seeing comments that, the things people say on there. They make me laugh, the way they go off on one, but the thing is with the people that comment on the Town Life forums, like, what I like about them is they're not afraid of like getting backlash for saying what they say. Like they'll say what they want to say. Their comments are full on, very on point. I respect a lot of the things they say, but a lot of the things they say really, are the truth. I like the people that comment on the Town Life forums because they are people. They are like-minded people. They're the sort of people that are able to see Chris and Sarah for who and what they really are, and I respect them for that. I've always respected the people that comment on the Town Life forums, because those people are speaking the God honest truth at the end of the day, and that's the way it is. I'm reading the Town Life forums practically every day, and I love seeing the way, I love seeing some of the names that, the people on Town Life come up with Chris and Sarah. They call them lazy and all that, and it's kind of funny. They don't hold back on what they say. The thing I like about that, and I admire about the Town Life, the people that comment on that post on the Town Life forums, right? I really admire the way that they don't hold back on what they say. Like, they're not afraid to speak what's on their mind and things like that. And I like that. That impresses me, the fact that they're not afraid to say what needs to be said. I like people like that. I like people who are able to see that that most of these family vlogging channels are garbage and need to be banned. I think that, obviously I know that a lot of the people on the Town Life forums, obviously, wouldn't agree with me sending death threats to the Inghams, and I don't blame them for not agreeing with that. But I want them, if I can say anything to, I want the people on the Town Life forums to know that I have nothing but the greatest respect for them, and I hope that, obviously I want them to know that I'm a decent person. I make mistakes, and I I've admitted to making those mistakes, and I am admitting what I'm doing is wrong, and I don't want people to think that reading what I've seen on the Town Life forums and things like that has influenced me to do what I did, because I haven't been influenced by the Town Life forums in any way at all. Those people from the Town Life forums are not to blame for what I did. They're reading what they put. It's not their fault. Like, I've not been influenced by what I've seen on the Town Life forums or anything like that. Nothing I've seen on the Town Life forums has influenced me to do what I did. I did what there was no influence there whatsoever. And I obviously, I want people to understand that, that kids are in no danger. Chris and Sarah are not in any danger, because I'm not you know, I have no way of getting anywhere near them. So, you know, why would I want to, that's what I'm willing to say. Like, you know, I don't know what else I could say about this that, you know, I haven't already said. I mean, I think I've been pretty, you know, truthful about this and, you know, pretty honest about it, you know, to be fair. I don't think I've been, you know, massively negative about this as such. But yeah, I want everyone to know that I am sorry for what I did, and I want people to know that I'll do whatever I have to do, you know, to put this right. You know, I'm not doing this just because I've been hauled out and been exposed and things like that. I'm doing this because I'm doing this video because a lot of what I've said had to be said. You know, I wanted to make it clear that the threats that have been made towards the children haven't come from me. Because I would never threaten to harm the children in any way. And I know I said that at the start of the video, but I really want to make that clear. That I have never ever, and will never ever send threats to the children or threaten to harm the children anyway. I mean, I know they had threats from someone threatening to rape the kids. And again, those threats have not come from me, because I would never threaten to rape any child. I'm not that way inclined. I'm not that sort of person that gets some kind of enjoyment out of making threats to rape a child or any children in that matter. For that matter, you know, I would never threaten to do anything that serious. I would never threaten to rape a child or anything like that. You know, a lot of what I said, you know, in regards to the death threats, was me just trying to scare Chris and Sarah a little bit and try and give them, you know, try and frighten them a little bit, you know. I wanted to, you know, they've never had a reason to feel scared, and I wanted to give them a reason to feel scared. You know, I wanted them to, you know, I wanted people to realise, I wanted them to realise, you know, just how much some people despise them, and just how much some people hate what they do. Because I don't think they've ever really understood how much some people hate what they do. You know, hate what they do. You know, they can act all innocent most of the time, but they're not that innocent. I mean, I look back at these allegations that were made against Chris. Now, why would that girl lie about what Chris did? You know, if people think she's lying, I would love to see all these people stand in front of that girl's parents and tell them that their daughter's lying about what Chris did. You know, if she was lying, why did she post a video on YouTube talking about what Chris did? If she knew what she was saying wasn't true, if she knew she was lying. Would she have posted that video if she was lying? Would she have posted that video if she knew what she was saying was absolute bullshit? You know, I doubt she would have done. I doubt she would have posted that video if it wasn't true. You know, I think that the only reason she posted the video on YouTube talking about what Chris did was because it's true. And she wanted people to know what he did, and to know what he was like, what he was really like, and that he was not the perfect man that he's always made out to be. You know, and yet Chris denied what he did, denied what happened, and said he didn't do it. But of course he's gonna do that. He's never gonna admit to doing what, you know, that he did what he did. He's always gonna deny that on camera and say that he didn't do it. He's never gonna actually come on camera and say, well, yeah, I did do that, is it? Let's face it. You know, if any of these family vloggers were hauled out for something they did, they're never gonna come on camera and admit that they're in the wrong for anything. They're never gonna admit that they did, you know, that what they did. They're never gonna admit to being in the wrong. They're always gonna deny it. You know, and they're always gonna start trying to play the victims. You know, and the reason they play that, and the problem is, you know, the main issue is that a lot of these family vloggers are being treated like the victims most of the time, and it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be a case where the parents are always being treated like the victims. You know, the victims here are these innocent children who are being exploited every day for money. You know, and obviously it's YouTube. I know it's YouTube that is allowing that to happen, but the parents are to blame for that as well. You know, not these, you know, people like Chris and Sarah would be absolutely nothing without their kids. You know, they would never, if it wasn't for their kids, they would never have gotten over 1 million subscribers. You know, I'd love to see them go a week without filming their kids, and we'd see a bit, I guarantee you we would see a huge difference in their views if they didn't film their kids for a week. You know, I bet if they did, I know for a fact that if Chris and Sarah didn't film their kids for a week, nobody would watch their vlogs. Because people don't watch their vlogs to watch Chris and Sarah. The only reason people watch their vlogs is because they want to watch the kids. Pure and simple. You know, and I doubt anybody, you know, I'd love for somebody to try and deny that. But I think we all know that's the truth here at the end of the day. Is that the only reason people watch these family vlogging channels is because they want to watch the kids. You know, it has to be said, it's as simple as that. You know, so that's my 2 penny worth on the situation. I just wanted to do this video as it had to be done. I wanted to clear a few things up with regards to some of the things that were said in Sarah's Instagram post. Obviously, as I said, she greatly exaggerated the amount of emails I was sending, and she also if they've had threats made towards the children, those threats haven't come from me. If someone set fire to the back of their house, again, has nothing to do with me, you know, because I have no way of getting anywhere near their house, you know, so that has nothing to do with me, and that's what I really wanted to say. You know, I just wanted to, you know, I wanted to, you know, clear a few things up, clear these things up, because it felt like I was being accused of doing something I hadn't done. It felt like I was being accused of, you know, something I wasn't, you know, something I had nothing to do with, you know, and something that I would, you know, doing something that I would never do, you know, because you know, it's not fair that people are accusing me of sending emails, you know, threatening to harm the kids, because I would never do that. You know, I'm not the sort of person that gets, as I said, I'm not the sort of person that gets some kind of twisted enjoyment out of threatening to harm the kids or threatening to rape the kids, which is what some lowlife has threatened to do. But that lowlife isn't me. You know, that lowlife who's threatened to rape the kids has serious problems. But that person isn't, you know, that person isn't me. You know, I have nothing to do with these emails that, you know, these emails they've had threatening to harm the kids. You know, I have nothing to do with a fire being started at the back of the house or wherever it was. You know, you know, none of that has anything to do with me. The only thing that I'm guilty of is harassing the Inghams every day and sending emails to them and sending death threats to them. But anything else, I'm not guilty of. You know, sending threats to, you know, threatening to harm the kids, I'm not guilty of that. Sending threats to, you know, threatening to set fire to the house, I would never do that. You know, and the thing is, you know, Sarah made it, you know, in Sarah's Instagram post, she made it sound like I was the one that set fire to the back of their house. But it wasn't, it had nothing to do with me. So it's not fair that she's making it sound like it was me that did that. Because I can assure you it absolutely wasn't. You know. And I'm not going to start getting all angry about this and all ranting and start having a massive rant, because I don't need to do that. You know, I've said what I need to say in this video. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you for the next one very soon. Bye bye for now, guys. Have a good day.
And there we have it, yet another video down. Please remember to give this video a massive thumbs up, comment all of your thoughts about it down below, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Until next time, take care and bye bye.